Dear viewers, most welcome to my online class. Today I explain some important terms of genetics. I hope this class will be very helpful. Today we explain one factor, allele or allelomorph, homozygous chromosome or gene, heterozygous, dominant characters, recessive characters, hybrid or filial generation, phenotype, genotype, monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross, test cross, back cross, genome, sex chromosome, and autosome. At first, we discuss genetics. What is genetics? The process by which a parent's size, shape, appearance, body shape, physiology, behavior, etc. are transmitted from generation to generation in the body of their offspring is called genetics. That means the similarity between parents and offspring. Why this is caused? But what is the reason of these causes? Why the similarity, we found similarity between parents and offsprings? To know the causes, this is the genetics. The word genetics comes from the Greek word gen, meaning consequence. William Batson first used the term genetics in 1906. At first, we discuss factor. According to Mendel, every feature of an organism is controlled by a single element or factor. This single element or factor is known as factor. One factor causes one character, creates one character. For example, symbolic capital T and small t components are present for the long. We show here capital T means long plants and small t means short plants of peas, sweet peas. It was later discovered that the factor referring by Mendel was actually a gene located on a chromosome. In this figure, it is shown that capital T and small t, these are factors. Next we discuss allelomorph or allele. Allele means the gene pair that controls each trait of an organism is located at a specific location in the homologous chromosome pair. Here, two homologous chromosomes. These are homologous chromosomes. They have similarities, same characteristics, same genes. Both have here capital T and small t, they are allele. Small a, they are also allele. Capital B, small b, they are also allele. These two genes are called alleles of each other. Alleles can be same, such as capital T, or opposite to each other, such as capital T, small t. Next we explain homozygous. If the two genes that control a trait of an organism are the same, then that organism is called homozygous for that trait. For example, if the two genes that control the length of the pea stem are dominant, capital T, it is called homozygous long. and if both genes are recessive, small t, it is called homozygous short. Next, we explain heterozygous. If there are two types of genes that control a trait in an organism, one is dominant and one is recessive, it is called heterozygous. In heterozygous conditions, dominant characters are revealed but recessive characters remain undisclosed. Capital T, capital R, capital Y, small y, etc. are heterozygous. In this figure, we saw capital T and small t. This is heterozygous condition. Whereas small a, this is homozygous allele. Next, we discuss dominant characters. When an organism combines two alternative traits, the trait that is manifested outside is called dominant traits. The P caused by the cross between the actual tall capital T and the actual short small t F1 first filial generation P3 has a combination of long and short features capital T and small t, but the tree grows taller because the tall feature capital T is dominant. In this figure, capital T express long tree, small t express short length plants, whereas capital T and small t, capital T for long plants, small t for short plants. But here this plant is long because capital T for long plants, this character is dominant over short length plants. So capital T for dominant characters. Then we discuss recessive characters. When an organism combines two alternate characters, the character that remains undisclosed is called a recessive character. Although the P caused by the cross between the actual tall capital T and the actual short small t, F1 or first filial generation P3 has a combination of long and short characters capital T and small t. Both are present here. The short character remains undisclosed because the short character is recessive. In this figure, capital T show long plant, small t show short plant, capital T and small t show long plant. There, small t for short characteristics does not disclose or open or express here. So, small t is a recessive character. Next, we discuss hybrid or filial generation. The offspring produced after reproduction between two organisms having differing characters are called hybrid or filial generation. The first offspring is called the first filial generation or F1 generation. In this figure, capital T that is homozygous for long plants. Capital T, small t, this is heterozygous condition. This is F1 generation or filial generation. Small t, this is homozygous for short plants. So there, capital T, small t is hybrid or filial generation. Next, we explain phenotype. The external feature of an organism is called its phenotype. Long or short, yellow or green, etc. are phenotypic traits. This is genotype. Capital T, this is genotype, but a long plants are phenotype. These long plants are phenotype. Capital T, small t. Short plants are phenotype, but capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, small t, small t, that means genotype. Next, then we explain genotype. The structure or location of gene of our organism is called the genotype of that organism. For example, the genotype of a real tall p is capital T, and the genotype of a real short p is small t, small t. In this figure, capital T, this is genotype. Capital T, small t, this is genotype. Small t, this is genotype. But long plants, short plants, these are phenotype of sweet pea. Next, we explain monohybrid cross. A hybrid or cross that occurs by observing at a pair of opposite characteristics of two organisms is called monohybrid cross. For example, a cross between a black and a brown guinea pig. Capital B cross small b, this is one organism, this is another organism, another guinea pig. Capital B means black characters, black hair. Small b means brown color hair. When we emphasize on only two pairs of characters, black and brown of hair, this is called monohybrid cross. Next, we discuss dihybrid cross, a hybrid or cross based on two pairs of opposite characteristics of two organisms. For example, a cross between a black and a short-haired guinea pig and a brown and elongated guinea pig. Capital B for black hairs, small s for short-haired. Then small b for brown hair and capital S for elongated hair. Here we emphasize on two characteristics, two pairs of characteristics, black and brown. Other pair of characteristics is short and elongated hair. So this cross is known as dihybrid cross. Test cross, testing the first offspring F1 with his real recessive parent is called a test cross. The test cross can be used to determine the genotype of F1 as well as how many pairs of comparative genes separate two parents. Here, a thin rat and a healthy rat cross, we get a healthy rat. This thin rat is recessive, healthy rat is dominant. We get a healthy rat as F1 or offspring. When we cross this healthy rat with recessive characteristics of thin rat, this is called test cross. Hybridization back cross, hybridization of F1 with any parent. There is healthy rat, thin rat, poor rat, and this is healthy rat F1. When healthy rat is crossed with thin rat or healthy rat is crossed with healthy rat, this is any parent. Crossing with any parent of F1 is called back cross. Result of test cross, there capital T and small t, we cross two plants. From capital T we gamete one kind of gamete, capital T. From small t we get only small t gamete with small t. When these two gametes are crossed, they produce an offspring with capital T and small t. A capital T and small t is now crossed with small t. This is called test cross. This is homozygous recessive. This is heterozygous. This is the cross between heterozygous plant and recessive plant. From this heterozygous, two kinds of gametes are produced, capital T and small t. From homozygous plant, one kind of gametes are produced, only small t. When capital T and small t is crossed, they produce capital T, small t. This is tall plants. When small t and small t is crossed, they produce small t homozygous plants and short plants. Here we found long plants, 50% long plants and 50% short plants. So the ratio of short and long plants is 1:1. This is the result of test cross. We found 1:1 ratio from test cross. Now we explain genome. A set of genes on a haploid chromosome of an organism is called a genome. Total genes, they are remained in a haploid set of chromosome, that is called genome. Sex chromosome, these chromosomes determines the sex of the organism, that is the male or female characteristics of the organism. Here double X, 2X shows or express female characteristics, X and Y express male characteristics. These are sex chromosome because they determine the sex of the organism. At last we discuss autosomes. These chromosomes reveal the physical characteristics of an organism other than sexual characters or determination of sex. These chromosomes are known as autosomes. In human body we have 22 pairs of autosomes and 1 pair of sex chromosomes. Thanks to remain with me. Please subscribe my channel. Please like and comment.